Good morning. Time is at 9:06. Not too late for me. Market looks good. Market looks great. The market's looked great for a while. I thought it was going to top out and it was too high. And I mean, I'm looking at the market on my iPad, but I mean, shows what I know. All right. Well, maybe it'll top out someday. Did you guys notice? Did anyone see my interview? No one really watched my interview with you guys. Probably did, but there's only I only had like 200 views on my interview with Howard, and I don't care. I mean, I'm not worried about my views. I'm really not. But it's embarrassing. That's probably why Howard doesn't. It's probably why I can't get. If I can't attract views, I'm going to have a hard time attracting managers to be on here. Anyway, Howard was on. Nice stuff to be on here, but yeah, I got to do better than 260 views. Yeah, I know you guys did. I guess I need to clip it. Everyone, I need to clip it into shorts and then repost it on Twitter. What I'm saying is I owe it to Howard. I don't care. I'm fine on the views. I'm used to not getting very many views, but I feel embarrassed because Howard's a pretty big time. Because usually my interviews with Jay get 1,000 or 2,000 views or whatever. So I would think a Howard one would get, should at least get 1,000 or something. So I'm going to clip it or do something, try to make it go more viral. But yeah, no, I appreciate you guys watching it. What I was going to say, did you notice how he was pretty bearish? I mean, I thought that was unusual. Now, so far he's been wrong. He said he's been bearish since July. So I guess he's with the rest of the crowd. But anyway, I thought that was kind of interesting that he was, a lot of these guys just talk their book and they're uber bullish or whatever, but he's talking his book. But I mean, it seems to me they've been trying to build curve. That's why they rushed to get K Gold out, is to have it out for a risk off event. I think, from what I could tell, he seemed kind of more bearish than I would expect. Anyway, it was great talking to him. Thanks so much for being here. You need to get the likes to change your algo. Yeah, true. All right, so let's look at some other stuff. Let's look at some good news. Well, I was looking at the SPY, but I didn't show it to you guys. I assume you guys have been seeing it because you guys are probably looking at the screen right now. It may be redundant to show the market, but lots of mornings I like to look at the market too, just to kind of see where we're at. Oh, look at this. SPY is flat, or the ES is flat on a 24-hour chart. The SPY was actually up a little bit earlier, but it's pulled back. Qs are down a little bit. It was a little bit concerning that Bitcoin was down 2% yesterday. Bitcoin definitely lagging as far as that goes. It's bouncing a little bit today, but not a whole lot. That's somewhat concerning to me. Let's look at VIX and VIVIX. This is just noise. VIX is flat at 16, and that's pretty much where it's been for a while. I mean, that's what it's rotating around. VIX and VIVIX. VIVIX is at 100. Anyway, all right. Well, be that as it may. Okay, so big news. First, while we're looking at charts, before we go to the crypto quartet, let's look at the chart of the crypto quartet. So this is 30-minute chart of blocks. I wonder if I should do 30-minute or dailies. I guess we can look at some of these are too illiquid though. Let's just look at dailies when we look at this segment of the show. I mean, you shouldn't be day trading these but anyway, okay. So that is, and this is with dividends included, adjusted, not reinvested. If it was reinvested, it would even be doing better, but it's just dividends factored into the equation. All right, that's blocks. That's looking good. Let's look at LFGY. I mean, that's looking great. LFGY is making me mad. We may look at my portfolio in a little bit. We'll talk about that. But LFGY, even with dividends included, and I'm on drip for that matter, and it's lagging in my portfolio. And of course, you can see it here too. It's lagging compared to Alti and blocks. It's lagging because it hasn't taken out its last high, even factoring in those big juicy dividends. So LFGY, all right. But then we have, we looked at blocks. Blocks is easily over its last high, and Alti's a monster. Alti is a monster, well over its past high. It had kind of a triple high there in July or whatever. And if you can't look at these prices for trading because these are dividend adjusted prices. 5-6. So anyway, I'll probably get that comment. So the trading price right now is, I guess they keep the trading price the same. They adjust the past prices. Okay. Trading price is 567. That's the price you could buy and sell it at. But they just factor in the dividends. All right. But anyway, that's what we want to look at because we're worried about how the investment's doing. All right. Well, anyway, but yeah, Alti and blocks look strong. Blocks actually a little bit stronger. Then let's check out GPTY. So this is an AI fund, and this looks about as bullish as blocks did. I wonder how Chippy's doing. Why don't I have any Chippy or any what the heck? And why don't I have any there's Chippy, then there's a 12% one, Soxy. Did you guys see my review the other day on Biggie? Biggie's doing surprisingly well. I mean, it's paying 12% and it's actually catching all the upside of the market. Now, granted, it only pays 12%, but I mean, it's beating all the so-called safe ones. Anyway, Biggie kind of surprised me, tell you the truth. And so I would be. So what I'm saying, Soxy is brethren of it. It's a stablemate. So I wouldn't be at all surprised if Soxy's doing well too. Okay. Anyway, I'll get off that now. So we looked at the charts. Let's go to Crypto Quartet. We have fresh max factor ratings out also. And I'm trying to develop a new show I want to tell you about. Okay, the Crypto Quartet. Let's just start with Alti. It's showing Alti over here unchanged. I don't know why. I mean, we just looked at Alti, but I don't remember the changed amount on it or not. Maybe Alti really is flat. Yeah, it's only up 9 bips. So that's, that Alti is flat. Okay, but the average stock, it looks like, is flat too. I don't know why. I don't think this is working right. Let's go look. Let's go do this. I need to tell the script to do this from now on. It keeps it from working. All right. So yes, the average stock is up 30 bips. Alti is up 9 bips. We've already been through this. Okay, perfect. So we can see what's helping, what's hurting. Open. What is Open doing? Open's 2.6% of the fund and it's down 8%. My gosh. Come on, Open. What are you guys doing? It's because I bought calls. Never let me buy calls. I mean, or somebody just needs to short stock anytime I buy calls in a company. I guess that's what the market maker does. But that's why the market maker is a good business to be in. So I'm not the only person that's good at calling tops by buying. I love to buy a top. I've never met a top I wouldn't like to buy and a bottom I wouldn't like to sell. I'm notorious for doing that. Luckily, it's only 2 contracts, so I'll be all right. But anyway, maybe this gap down here, there's a gigantic gap right here, and it's pretty much the last line of defense for the bulls. It looks like they're close to dipping into it. Maybe I should just buy more right here, and then maybe I was just early. Maybe I need to buy this gap. If it gets on the other side of the gap, just probably close the whole position. But anyway, whatever. Whatever. And I looked at this for like 2 weeks. I think a lot of people did because I was like, there's no way this is going to keep going up. Anyway. All right. Well, enough for Open. So back to the Crypto Quartet. So right here in Alti, notice they have 17% of the company in money markets, but that's not, they have a few positions where they aren't using stock, but because it's in their prospectus, they don't leverage their holdings. They can get into some of these positions cheaper with options, but they will still hold the same amount of money out of the fund and just keep it in a money market as if they would have bought the stock. And if they don't, they're using leverage, and that's not what they're trying to do. And they don't need to. This fund is fine without leverage. I think Alti's doing a pretty good job. Okay, so anyway, that's Alti. But that's why they have so much money markets lately, because they have 3 or 4 positions. Like yesterday, they had, this doesn't show me, but I'm trying to think. It seems like 3 of these positions were puts only, put spreads only. But anyway, all right. Well, so something I'm excited about. Okay, forget about the put spreads for now. So now I've got this to show the allocation changes. And I just got this working right before I came on here. So in other words, they added Bitmine immersion because there was 0 2 days ago, and now there's 1.75%. All right. We also added FIG. What is FIG? You got to be kidding me. I know what FIG is. FIG is actually, is FIG an ETF managed by Mike Green? No, it's Figma. Okay. There's an ETF that's something that's called VIG, or it's a Mike Green one. Anyway, Figma. Okay, of course. So these guys own Canva, right? Is this a Canva and Adobe? Anyway, that's interesting. I don't know why it's taking so long, but I sure am glad that, okay, well, yeah, they're buying the pullback. They got to worry about this overhead supply caused by this gap, but if it could get on the other side of the gap, whatever. All right, perfect. So they added them some FIG. That's good to see. Rest of the positions, I may put a filter in here where if it doesn't change by at least 10%, they don't tell me. Because some of these are changed just because the stock price has changed, or most of them have. So, but this is way better than we were doing. We can see, so look at this. They added Pony and Qubit. Are you serious? Okay. They added SoundHound and Symbotic. I thought they had Symbotic. Anyway, then I need to tell the scripting to put, but anyway, they dropped Credo, they dropped INOQ, and they dropped Oklo. Okay, well, anyway, that's pretty cool. So we could also look at, look at the allocation changes for blocks. Well, this one is not really working on, or maybe they just haven't had any. No, that's what it is. It's working. They just haven't had anything major. Okay, I'll work on that. But anyway, so we looked at Alti. So let's go look at blocks now. We'll just look at the blocks holdings. Or we'll look at LFGY stock holdings. LFGY is up a little bit. Great job. Average is up. Everything looks good. This one's down 1.5. BTDR. NVIDIA's off a little bit. Okay. Great job, LFGY. That's good. I guess we could go. Oh gosh, allocation changes. Where's allocation changes? LFGY. Previous day blocks. I don't see an allocation changes LFGY. Somehow they missed that one. Previous day allocation changes Alti. Previous day LFGY. Maybe if there's no changes. They did save the previous day. It looks the same. It's probably no changes. Here's the previous day blocks, but then here's the allocation changes for blocks. Okay, I'm getting the hang of this. So really, there's no changes. In other words, we just don't need to report on here. Blocks is all exactly the same. Okay. Historical chart 1, option positions. And then we can look at the option positions in Alti. I was talking about them just using put spreads, I guess we could look really quick and see if they have any just put spreads. Looks like callers to me. Multiple tranches of callers. I see callers, but I guess you would have to compare and see which ones they didn't have stock in. But also you would just see puts down here. You would just see two puts, not two calls and two puts. Maybe CoreWeave. No, CoreWeave's just a call and a put. That's just a caller. Anyway, all right. Well, they're doing their everything's doing well. I'll work on this. I need to work on this sheet to make it better. But let's look at Salty. Poor Salty just can't buy a break. It says it's, what does that say? Down 14 bips. I mean, I don't doubt it. They have Symbotic, which is down 6.93. Oh, Alti just put Symbotic in. This one is short Symbotic. Okay, that's why I said I thought we already had Symbotic. Maybe Alti's trying to buy the most recent pullback. These guys have been shorted, but there really hasn't been a recent pullback. I guess this morning. Alti's on the long side of Symbotic, it would appear, and Salty is on the short side. So let's go back here to Salty. Yeah, they have 7% of their portfolio short, and it's down 4%. So today's the first day. I mean, the shorts are working out today. It didn't work out yesterday, and I don't know where they're short from. Astera Lab is also, working out nicely. It's about 6% of the fund, and it's dropping like a rock. Okay, well, option positions, blocks, option positions, Salty. All right, I'll work on making this better, but I really like this right here. I'll work on having AI. This is going to give us a lot more information to use, even if it just did this on Alti. Maybe I need to not worry about it, but I want to know what blocks and LFGY are doing also. And if we can make it work on one, once I figure it out on one, we'll make it work on all of them. But to me, it's interesting that they put Bitmine immersion in. So they got 1.75%. So it's not a huge holding. But what in the heck is Pony? I mean, Pony. I used to know Pony. No, I didn't think that. Or no, I wasn't thinking it was an ADR, an AI company. Wow, a Chinese AI company. Maybe I need to buy some calls in this. It's on breakout watch. It's on breakout watch. So now let's go back to the crypto quartet. And so let's go option positions Alti. I guess we would need the trades though. I don't know where it saves the trades. Yeah, because Pony's not in here yet because it was just a trade yesterday, so it's not a position yet. Anyway, all right, this doesn't have the trades. All right, we'll go into something new. Let's go into the crypto quartet or something. I've gone on long enough about this stuff, and then I wanted to show you. Oh yeah, then we're going to look at lightning spread stuff. We are going to look at lightning spread stuff. I meant to shut this freaking window. Come on. Why is this? Before I came on the live stream, I went and shut a bunch of windows. And I swear I shut this one. I guess it was frozen. I shut everything I didn't need. But anyway, now I need the crypto, now I need something over here. Let's see if it's here. Yeah, the index buffer, but I can't get there because of this stupid one. Hey guys, sorry about that. Okay. Anyway, index buffer report. Okay, it's saying Q up's up 17%. There's no freaking way Q up's up 17%. What in the heck is going on? I did a review of Q up when it was first out, and that fund is one of the most interesting funds out there because it does exactly what you aren't supposed to do. And it's doing it very well. Look at this thing. I mean, it started in March, so it wasn't exactly on the bottom, but it started to like 24.89 in March, and it's sitting here at 42 today. And all they do is buy at the money calls every day. That's all and let them expire, I believe. Okay, what's going on? The late night lightning's still messing it up. Gosh darn it. That's what I wanted to show you guys. There's really nothing to look at yet. Let's just shut that son of a gun. But we are going to talk about the lightning and the new show I have coming out, and also the max factor. Okay. Back to Q up though. Q up's not up 17%. It's down 2% today. But overall, it is a really nice fund. I know it's kind of hard to see. Maybe if we step back to weeklies. I mean, and there's no options sold in there. I'd always wonder if they could make a fund like this, but sell some options too. But anyway, that's not the deal. This is a maximum upside fund. So you just buy, and not only that, you spend 10% of the portfolio every morning. So if you lose 3 days in a row, you're down like 27%. 10% the first day and like 9%, then 8 or something. You're down. But if you lose 10 days in a row, you're down 70%. You'll go through 70% of your bankroll. But I guess, and that sucks. But at the same token, there's lots of times in the market where you have a streak of 3 or 4 or 5 winning days in a row. And so if you're doing 10% of your portfolio and you have 4 or 5 winning days in a row, and it happens all the time, and you're buying at the money options. And so then you triple your money, and then you do that like 4 or 5 days in a row, and you're doing that with an increasing balance. Yeah, eventually you lose, but it's a great little trend following system. If you can get a trend going because you bet more into positive trends, you're betting 10% every day. You win your first bet, you have 110% to bet. So then on the second day, you win it, you're up 11%. And on the third day, you guys see what I'm saying, because of the effects of compounding. So just naturally, if you hit a bad streak where you lose 5 in a row, you're betting less as you're losing. But if you hit a good streak, you're betting it into your streak. So this Q up's a very interesting fund to me. I I got a really nice review on it the other day. I'd forgotten that I did a review on it, and I got a follow. Somebody really liked my review. Anyway, all right. So Q up, but Q up's not up that much. So that makes the crypto quartet pretty much, that makes this file pretty much unusable. Let's see if there's anything else we can glean from this. USOY's up 1%. Well, that's good. IWMY, I mean, whatever. Okay. Maybe let's go to the yield max buffer report. All right, this is working better. Palti's up more than the parent. Babo's up more than the parent. That's good to see. You didn't used to see that ever. PP's up more than the parent. Dizzo's up more than the parent. None of them are down more than the parent. Wow, except YMAG. Except YMAG. And except Coney. Okay, so let's see. I need to talk about other stuff. Okay, so I'm trying to make a new show. So I guess that I started. This is the coolest fund out there right now. I mean, and it's a close call between. Well, there's some funds that aren't out, but they're going to have a leveraged long plus income, and the symbol's going to be QQY. Defiance is back on cutting edge, but I mean, this QLDY is going to be something else. So. But unfortunately, Defiance needs to get their act together. I found the trades for this, but they still have the trades posted from Friday. They don't have Monday's trades posted. Most companies post Monday's trades at 6 or 7 o'clock Eastern, at the end of or 5, 6, 7 Eastern at the end of the day. So I figured, okay, they just didn't do it yesterday. When they get into the office this morning, they'll post the trades because I would love to see what they sold on Monday. We actually know what they did. And I made a spreadsheet. Check this out. And I'm just going to have a nightly, I'm just going to do a nightly report on it, like a 5-minute report. There just and I did it last night, but there just wasn't anything to show. So what did I call that? I called the thing late night lightning. I'm just going to make a gosh darn it, you got to be kidding me. I mean, I just had the freaking thing open. I mean, it crashed the whole freaking computer. There it is. And that's exactly what it's called. Oh my gosh. All right. Well, anyway, so but I'm just going to follow the trades, and so I mean you have to start somewhere. But it has so they sold the 24,570, bought the 24,450. It's 120 point wide spread in the NDX, which is a huge contract. It's a $2.4 million contract notional. To buy a combo costs $2.4 million. To sell a put, you need $2.4 million in your account when you're trading the NDX. Well, anyway, they started the fund with $2.5 million under management. They bought one synthetic, which ties up $2.4 million, about a little bit less because they bought 1,000 strike. So it's 1,000. It's a little bit less than 2.4. They tied up like 2.35 million or something. But anyway, they do that, and then they're selling these 0 DTE spreads against it. So they sold this thing for $91. They bought one for 39 behind it, let it expire to cash. These are European settled. You don't have to do anything. They just expire. They're cash settled. There's no early exercise. They're perfect for this strategy. It's just a big contract. So what they're going to start doing, if they get more money in, they're going to start using XND, there's a smaller version of NDX. There's two of them. There's a micro and a mini, but they'll use the one that's 1/10 the size. And they might even use some QQQ because I've seen them do it in other funds because they'll have to, like, let's say they get $500,000 in. Well, what are they going to do? If they get $500,000 in, because they can't buy just $500,000 worth of long. These are pairs trades. and the price for admission in this market is 2.45 million. That's just what it cost. So they would really need to raise 5 to buy a second contract, and then they could start selling 2 of these a day. They only made $5,200 yesterday on 2.5 million. I was thinking, is that all? But if you multiply 5,200 times 220, how many days are in a year? That's about 1.1 million. So that's some pretty good income on 2.4. That comes out to 45%. Now, here's something else I did that you guys might like. I'm trying to figure out how to share this with you guys. I thought maybe you guys might like this. This was also in the show last night, but no one watched the show last night either. So, and that's fine. So I'm just kind of redoing it now. But I'm going to start making the nighttime show on every night at 7, and it's something we'll be able to rely on. And I'll do a live dividend estimate, not a dividend estimate, just a dividend tracker. We'll just say what the dividend's going to be. But because they had this day's worth of premium, the 19th, that's the day I showed you. Then they have the 22nd. We don't know what that is yet. The 23rd, that's what's going on today. 24th, 25th. They're going to have about 7 days. And then I bet you they have that Monday meeting, and then deck day is Tuesday. Then they don't pay for that first Thursday. But I bet you that first pay is based on, I'm trying to think if it's going to be based on a week and then half a week. If they're going to pay you a week here and then start doing half a week. And I don't think so. I think they'll do half a week here just to be a little bit ahead. But we'll have to see. We'll know exactly how much money they have to the penny to pay with. So we'll monitor this. I'm going to copy that link and share it with you guys in case anyone of you guys want to watch it. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to. I was just talking about that, the working investor. I can't find them right now. I found the one from last Friday, but I can't. But let me show you here's how you do that when they get their act together. One of you guys that likes to email their customer service and ask why their daily trades for QLDY aren't up yet. Because here's the thing. So the way Defiance works is you have all this, it tells you all this, and then you have the fun stuff, but then right here under top holdings, it shows you the holdings, and you can hit view full holdings or whatever. But then over here on the right side, it says prospectus, summary prospectus, SAI, and then it usually says intraday trades. They don't have any intraday trades up yet, but I got smart and I'm thinking there's no way there's not trades up. So they post all their trades at the same time. So I looked at triple QI. When I used to do this, I used to monitor these trades every day. I know all about this. I mean, so you go here and you go intraday trades. Well, these intraday trades had the QLDY trades on also. They post the trades for the whole company. So they just don't have a link on the QLDY yet. Fine. I can live with that. We'll just go get the intraday trades from any of the other ones, right? So yeah, so rock and roll. The problem is their link, even on the other ones, is still showing last Friday. I have no idea what they did. See that? 19. They have all their trades in here, and they have some interesting stuff. They even have I'm really interested in this Ethereum plus leverage fund, ETHI. They're showing their spreads. They're doing covered call spreads. But anyway, as soon as they get their act together, and here's all the trades right here. So you can even see like Hemi, Hemi, they're getting they're double long, or they're long 150% plus they're selling premium. And I guess you could look here. They probably have a long synthetic. And but anyway, Hemi, Hui, what's P? I guess they also have a Palantir one. Is that one leverage plus income? That ought to be pretty interesting. But anyway, I don't really study the single stocks leverage plus income, but they're all here. But my point is GLDY is here also, but it's from the 19th. So it's not GLDY. I get GLDY and QLDY mixed up. GLDY is important to look at too if you want, but QLDY is right here, and it's the last data I have. But anyway, I'm going to start. I'm going to do a daily report on this. I'm in love with was I sharing the screen that time? I probably wasn't sharing the screen, was I? I thought I was sharing the screen. Gosh darn it. How could I not share the screen every time? I just don't understand there's no way I wasn't sharing the screen that whole time. I was trying to show this. These are, gosh darn it, I can't believe that. Let's see if I got a text. Probably right there. Yeah, I got you. I got it. Yeah. Thanks, Marcus. I was like, I can't believe I'm not sharing the screen or I haven't got a text. It all happened at once. The technology's great. I got it. All right. It's all good. All I wanted to show people, because this is a great question, and that's something I really want to talk about, where to get the QILD trades. You go to the Defiance website, and then I've shown all this once, and you go to ETFs, and you can go to the QLDY. For some reason, it shrunk you can go to their own page, the Lightning Spread, and it tells you all about it. But all I was trying to show is usually right here underneath prospectus, it says daily intraday trades. But so I got smart and I went and I just got the intraday trades off something else. Anyway, so I showed you where to do that. So what you do is you would go to Triple QI or any of the other ones and go right there where it says prospectus and it says intraday trades, then it'll give them to you. Right now, unfortunately, they're running 2 days behind, and I don't know why. So that's really all that you guys. I really think that's all that you guys missed. I was just showing where to get it on the Defiance website, and here I'll show it better. You can get it income. I just went to Triple QI because they post all the trades together. You go to Triple QI, then it says top holdings, and you can just look there, but sometimes it's not all of them. It's better to look at, see, prospectus, summary prospectus, blah, blah, blah. Fifth one down, intraday trades. You click there and then you have them. So, and I'll let you know, like I say, I'm going to be doing a show nightly for when they come up. So, so anyway, I wasn't doing it the whole time. Gosh darn it. I can't believe it. But I was doing it earlier before the computer crashed. But yeah, not doing it. All right. Blocks is just incredible, isn't it, Marcus? Marcus and I are Blocks fans. Marcus is a CAIE fan, SPUT, SBAR. Hey, Mark, how are you doing? Share screen. I know it. I got it. Anyway, how many mics we got in the house? We got Michael from the Philippines, and I thought I saw another mic. Anyway, all right. All right. So is there anything else we need to talk about? How do we do and I answered that for Working Investor. Where can you find the intraday trades? Okay. Well, anyway, like I say, just tune in here, and I'm going to try to make a nightly show. I'm going to try to have the spreadsheet where it'll go to, kind of like the top 20, where it's a show we'll do every night, and it'll just show the trades and how they're doing. But then also, here's the thing, the Lightning Spread's a growth business. There's more coming out. There's one called SSOY that's an S&P version. I believe that's what it's called. And there's a Russell version of the Lightning Spread coming out. Blocks does Lightning Spreads, and there's other funds that will be coming out as well too. So I'm gonna cover all the Lightning Spreads, or maybe I'll just call it the Uncapped Upside Report. But that's all I'm going to cover is the ones with the uncapped upside. But I don't know. There's those funds that are leveraged long plus income. Have covered call spreads, and those are going to be really interesting too. So anyway, all right, YSPY. What about YSPY? Well, I was going to show. Anyway, let's look here at the new max factor. So these are new rankings as of today, and I have a new. We got new everything, and Alti is back number one on the Moxie report. I mean, Moxie just means how much potential it has. This thing's only trading at a 17 vol for the past 50 days. I guess I could make it 90 days, but I wanted to make it a little bit. So it's a 50-day measure, trading at a 17 vol, and yielding more triple digits. But then week almost has no volatility and yielding 4%. So that's also, according to this, has potential. But look at USOY, 16 vol yielding 108. Triple QI, 8 vol yielding, 52. IWMY, all the Defiance ones are going to be on here. This is just one little fun metric I like to look at. I really like YMAX, and it made it on here because it's only a 14 vol and it's 66. I mean, it's a lot of potential. It doesn't mean it doesn't guarantee it's going to make money. It still needs the stocks to go up, but it has the numbers. It has the, QDT and XDT are really good ones also. All right. So what did you want to look at? You wanted to look at Y-Spy, Marcus? I guess we could just keep going until we saw, there it is. Y-Spy is number 34 on Max's Moxie or potential. It's only an 18 vol. It just is a little bit more volatile than like Alti even, at least according to the measurement that I'm using, according to this metric. Not much, but a little bit more volatile and pays about half as much. So that's why its ranking's not as high. All right, so let's just do the short-term max factor. The Moxie ratings are just for fun, just a potential. Short-term is GUI, Goop, Babo, Tesla, GDXY, XYLG, TSLP, Silbo, TSII. Well, that's a good one. TS2. I know a lot of people are going to be happy to have that on here. Let's look at that one. 90 days ago, it was at 28.83. Or no, 90 days ago, it was at 23. Now it's at 28, nearly 29. Heck yeah. And paid a 28% yield. YMAG looks good too, though. Anyway, all of these do. TSMY, Taiwan Semi, YETH. Now, YETH is 13th on the short term. I think it may be number 1 on the long term, but I'm trying to think if that's right. I don't know. We'll run the long term in a second and see, but I know it's a good one. Here's iGold. Boy, Howard's really high on his K Gold. Now, is K Gold on here? Have I been shunning? I don't know if K Gold is on here. Do any of you guys have K Gold? Let's look at K Gold. But yeah, Howard's he's a trader. I mean, I'm more the kind of guy, just let the math do its job. Same thing every day, systematic or whatever. But no, Howard, I mean, they're getting in there they're getting in their KQQQ, and they're using some stocks just to sell options in and some not to. They don't just do a system like most of the other things I'm looking at. We get these 30 stocks and we sell options on half the portfolio. It's a system. Let math settle the. Howard's not like that. It's a different deal. And really, Alti's not like that also, because Alti and KQQQ and a few other funds out there, the managers and blocks, the managers are managing with the expectation of beating the market or trying to beat the market, as opposed to just, my method of doing it. I like the systematic ones that are just, anyway, we'll see though. Like, for instance, QLDY, that's just totally systematic. They're just going to, I promise, they'll sell it and let it expire, own the stock. And it's a different deal. They'll do well as long as the market does well. But things like Alti and blocks and KQQQ, and there's others out there also, they're monitoring as if it was their own money. And it was, they're trying to maximize every bit they can. They aren't just putting it on autopilot. And like I say, I'm not saying anything against autopilot. I'm kind of an autopilot guy. Let math sort it out. The math will sort it out. But anyway, it's a different deal. So anyway, but yeah, we'll see. So K Gold has not been on here long enough to be on my list. July, so August, September, October 9th. I need to put a notice to myself on a reminder for October 9th. But anyway, all right. Well, but as far as let's look at the gold ones on the max factor. So on the short-term max factor, the highest gold is GDXY. It went from 14 to 17. It's up like 16%, and pays a 40% yield. Great job. Number 2 is not gold, but it's silver. SLVO went from 80 to 90 and paid 18%. Wow. Number 3 on, of the gold ones is iGold, went from, 22 to 24, up about 7%. And then also I saw some more down here. There's GLDI. That one I'm not big on. I've looked into that one before, and I forget what I didn't like about that, but I wasn't big on it. But I guess let's just kind of look at it. Over the past year, it's gone from 155 to 167. That's pretty good for GLDI. Paid a 14% yield. I mean, it has decent, it's a low volatility, which we'd expect because it's gold. 1 year total return of 23%. I mean, nothing really wrong with it. There's SPIN and there's EGGY, EGGY. This is a good one. Gone from 39 to 41, paying a 20% yield. There's BIGGY. BIGGY's gone from 49 to 52, paying it's a target 12, but right now it's paying 10. BIGGY's right there next to JEPQ. JEPQ went from 53 to 57. Quarterly NAV return between JEPQ and Big Y are about the same. Big Y actually had a little bit better NAV return, but at least over this time frame, Big Y has a little bit less yield than JEPQ does. But they're both right together as far as, I mean, they're very similar. One's ranked 35th, one's ranked 36th. Here's IAUI. Susan, friend of the station, she's on these live streams sometimes. She was the first one I heard talking about that. That's a gold-based one. It 90 days ago it was at 49. Now it's at 52. And it's up 6%. Plus is paying about a 10% yield. Look at KQQQ, Howard's fund that he's so proud of. 90 days ago it was at $26.33. Now it's at $29.96. That's $3.60 on something that costs $26. It comes to about 14%. And they're paying a yield, keeping up with or exceeding the market. So, yeah, we'll look at the long term. We'll look at the long term later. All right, so I'll catch up with what you guys are saying. Working investor have a small position of K Gold. Seems to have returned IAUI or out returned. Yeah. Y Gold has been a top performer. I didn't realize. Oh, Y Gold, not K Gold. Okay, yeah. Y Gold has been a top performer, but it's kind of cheating, or it has 1.5 times leverage, which is good. I mean, leverage is the future. The lightning spread is kind of poor man's leverage or synthetic leverage, or not really leverage, but just kind of local leverage. Because between the strikes, you're double long. Local leverage. That's what I'll start. So the lightning spread is tactical leverage or whatever, and that's probably not really. They're also coming out with these ones that are called the Lev Max, and those are also going to have tactical leverage. You're going to be triple long between the strikes. Same concept, similar concept, except instead of doing it for income, they're doing it to catch extra upside. All right, so Y Gold is it's Simplify. Okay, well, these Simplify guys are sharp. These are hedge fund guys, but I didn't realize they were doing 1.5 times leverage. So it looks like 38%. They just have gold futures. What's SBIL? Some type of box spread fund, Simplify Exchange Rate Fund, government money market, SBIL. Yeah. Half the money in that. Anyway. Well, yeah, Y Gold's been it's been on fire, but it's not beating GDXY, is it? There's no way it's better than GDXY. GDXY is the best one. I'm just saying that because I have it, because I got lucky and bought it. I would have bought GLDY if it had been out, but it wasn't available, and it hasn't done near as well. I just backed into this GDXY thing. But man, this has been successful. Look at the money flowing into this. It's gone exponential. This almost looks like the Alti chart of money flowing in. So, down here is chilling 50, 60, 70 million. And then it has just gone exponential. A month ago it was at 121. Now it's at 171. It's just putting on. All right, dividend channel. Let's compare Y gold and let's look at Y gold and okay, we'll look at Y gold and K gold. Like I said, I know GDXY really isn't gold because it's gold miners and but whatever. I like it. Okay, Y gold's spanking K gold. K gold doesn't use leverage. Y gold uses a little bit of leverage, evidently. You can also see that Y gold was down, you know, in the pullback. Look at K gold. K gold actually creeped up and didn't make a second low here. It was actually, but Y gold was went back below zero just because of a little bit of leverage. It looks like they were down about 3% there and down about 2.5% there. But anyway, they have since kicked it into gear. The leverage, all I'm trying to say is I think leverage is the future. And I never thought I'd say that, be it local leverage like the Lightning spread has, or be it like that, or be it the LevMax funds, or really what I'm thinking about is these leverage plus income. And the reason I think that is because when I do backtest with leverage lightnings and leverage cover call spreads, they do really well. And in the back tester, it looks like they could pay the income and still catch all the upside. And it looks like that. And if you just backtest regular cover call strategies, they do about like regular cover call strategies would do. They make a yield, but they also cause NAV decay because they make too much yield where the NAV can't support it. Anyway, I have like an hour-long video I haven't released about this subject, but it's only it wouldn't be for the faint of heart. All right. But anyway, hey, Mike. So we do have a few Michaels here. We got Michael from the Philippines, Mike, and then we got Max, who's also Mike. All right, guys. Well, I'll let you guys go. I need to get on here and get some. But yeah, thanks to Marcus there. I'll save your. Oh, it's Mark. Okay, I thought I had your number saved in here, Mark. Anyway, I'll save those numbers so I know who they are next time. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for being here. I hope you have a good day. I'll be back. I'll be back this evening, if not before. All right, guys. And as soon as I get that, as soon as I figure out what the trade was, as soon as Defiance, somebody call up Defiance and blow up their customer service for them. But as soon as they get their act together and get those trades out, it'll probably come out at the same time today's come out. Maybe we'll get all three of them. We have Friday. Maybe we'll get Monday and Tuesday tonight. Anyway, but by 3 days in, we'll have a lot better idea on what they're gonna have to pay with, you know, and if they're gonna pay 40% or 50% or 30%. I'd be all right with anything as long as it's more than 20 and they catch full upside. And I really think that's the goal of the Lightning spread. The Lightning spread and the leverage long ones are trying to make it where, at least in an up market, there's no sacrifice. That's what I think. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you guys. Thanks for texting me, those of you guys that did, and I will talk to you later.